The Oklahoma Proven Program is a plant selection program for the state of Oklahoma. And each year we choose plants that are well adapted or suitable for growing in our landscapes throughout most of the state. Each year we choose a tree, a shrub, an annual, and a perennial. Last year we actually introduced a new category called the Collector's Choice. The Collector's Choice is typically going to be a plant that may not be so commonly found in the nursery trade, so you might have to look around a little bit more for it, and it may need some careful sighting within the landscape. Well, this year's Collector's Choice is actually the Caddo sugar maple, which is a native species to Oklahoma. It's found growing actually in the limestone canyons in the Caddo County area in southwestern Oklahoma. It has beautiful, deeply lobed, dark green leaves, and it's also very thick and leathery, which makes it more resistant to the leaf tatter and the leaf scorch that its eastern cousin can get. Because it's found growing in southwestern Oklahoma, it's also more adaptable to higher pH soils, and it is quite drought tolerant. It's really noted for its nice fall color. The fall color can be variable. It can be anywhere from yellow to golden yellow to orange, and sometimes even red. Now, the Caddo sugar maple will grow to about 30 to 50 feet, so it makes a wonderful medium to large shade tree for the landscape. The tree for 2010 is the Indian cherry. Now, this is Rhamnus carolinianus, and there are other Rhamnus species that are often found in the landscape trade. They are European species though, and in the eastern part of the United States they're actually kind of weedy and have become an invasive species. But this is a native species to southeastern United States and the eastern portions of the United States, found growing throughout the Carolinas, and actually is often called the Carolina buckthorn. Now, it becomes a wonderful small tree or large shrub to about 20 feet. It has these bright glossy green leaves that are pest-free, and the real attraction, I think, to this plant is the beautiful berries. These develop in late summer and fall, and as they mature they go to a red and then to a black. They're also very sweet. They will attract several species of birds, and they can also be eaten and used for jellies and jams. The shrub this year is the Korean spice viburnum. This is a lovely shrub, small to medium in size, and has year-round interest. The leaves are beautiful dark green all through the summer and can turn a wine red in the fall. In the spring, we have flower buds that are pink to red, and as they open to a white to a pink flower, they are very, very fragrant. Now, they can also develop some fruits late in the summer, which will again go from red to black as they mature and invite birds to the garden. Now, this plant prefers sun to partial shade, slightly acid soils and moist growing conditions, but once it gets established, it has proven to be very drought tolerant and will actually tolerate windswept areas. Now, toad lily is our perennial, and toad lily is known for its very unique flower. It's a very small flower. It's usually kind of a white to pale lilac to even pink and even a reddish purple, depending on the cultivar that you get. But the unique thing about them is that they also the petals are covered with dark purple spots. So it's a kind of like an orchid-like flower, and it's very, very unique. Now, this plant will get about 2 to 3 feet tall and about 2 feet wide with bright green leaves. The other nice thing about this is it blooms late in the year. So late summer, early fall is when it puts on its big show. Now, because the plants are also, or the flowers are actually quite small, you want to make sure that you locate them at the edge of the garden or along a pathway so that they can be appreciated up close. Now, this plant does prefer shade and moist growing conditions. However, once it gets established, it's somewhat drought tolerant, and it will actually grow in wet conditions. And finally, the annual for this year is Silver Falls dichondra. Dichondra argentea is actually a native species to southwest Texas and Mexico, so it really loves the hot sun and the heat, and is actually very drought tolerant as well. It may wilt down a little bit during really hot dry periods, but when water returns, irrigation returns, it perks right back up. Now, this only gets about 2 inches tall and spreads and creeps along the ground, and if you grow it in a container or pot or along a retaining wall, it spills over the edge and looks like this beautiful silver waterfall. The leaves have this beautiful silvery color to it, and they have the shape of a nice little lily pad.
We hope you've enjoyed this classic from the Oklahoma Gardening Vault. Remember, even though these tips and techniques are timeless, there's always something new to learn in the world of gardening. By subscribing to both Oklahoma Gardening and OK Gardening Classics, you'll have access to a wealth of gardening knowledge, both classic and contemporary.